Now, the most obvious difference between traditional and gospel music is the chords. All right. Now, once again, this is not rocket science, but music is like math. If you take the concepts in order, they make perfect sense. If you take them out of order, it's Greek or rocket science. So I'm going to give you the basics of those jazz chords, which are 9th chords, 11th chords, and 13th chords. All right. I'm going to give you first the theory, then the shortcuts, and then examples. All right, so you can see them in context. Theory, shortcuts, examples. Let's talk about the theory first. Where do those numbers come from? Okay, those numbers come from the scale itself, the major scale. We're going to use C because since it's the only scale with white notes, it's easier to follow what's going on. So whenever I'm making chords, I use every other note of the scale. That's what chords look like in their basic form. All right, unless you invert them, of course. But if I do 1, 3, and 5, that's a major chord. And that, why do I say 1, 3, and 5? First note of the scale, third, the fifth note of the scale. All right, if I did 6, that would be there. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, major 7th chord. Now, of course, I can flat those and sharp any of those, depending on to make them fit and also for different styles. I can take the 3rd, of course, and flat it. I could take the 7 and flat it, right? All right. But once I say 1, 3, 5, 7, when I get to 8, 9, all of a sudden it takes on a more complex sound. That's when you go into jazz, right? Okay, so that's 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So when somebody says a 9th chord, don't get foggy-eyed. It simply means the 9th note of the scale. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, it's also the same as 2, but when you put too many notes too close together, it starts to sound jumbled. Although that's not bad. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Where's 11? You count 2 more. 10, 10, 11. As simple as that. What that's 11. Now it starts to sound a little garbled. Yeah. So where would 13 be? All right, you're already sounding like a music major. 11, 12, 13. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And from there, when you hear sharp 9, flat 9, all those different things, that is, flat 7, right? All right, then you have flat 9, flat 11, that's when you get to flat 13, right? Sharp 5, and all those things. That's really what jazz comes out to. All right, 1, 3, and in summation, you do every other note, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And then you sharpen flat those to get the sounds you want and to make them fit. Okay, all right. Every other note, and then sharpen flat them to get the sound that you want. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as that. That's the theory, okay? Now, in studying each one of those, that's where the time takes. Playing each one until you're familiar with one sound and versus another sound. That's where the time takes. But right now, what every other note and sharps and flats, that's it on ground level. Okay, let's talk about some shortcuts because, like I say, there's mathematically there's a lot in that, but I'm going to give you some shortcuts for your most common jazz chords. All right. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, and they all take either 2 or 3 steps. Let's talk about a 9th chord. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7. Once you get to 7 and 9, you've got your first jazz chord. Now, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. when you play that, it has a mellow sound. If you want a little bit more on this, on the different sounds of chords, go to 4 Uses of Scales on playbyhere.com, and it'll talk about the personalities of each of these chords. But for 7th, we'll take the 7 and flat it, and then you get that soulful, traditional church or bluesy sound, right? That just sounds, Ray Charles made his career off of that by flatting the 7th chord, all right? Now, so, and if you go to 8, 9, then all of a sudden that 9th chord, it's a soulful jazz chord, right? Now, to give it a more practical use, the way you would use it if you're playing a song, you would take your root, and you're gonna say this: 2 down for dominant, 2 up for 9th. Simple as that. 2 down for dominant, 2 up for 9th. 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 When you do that, you've got the beginnings of jazz. So when I say 2 down for dominant, 2 up for 9th, you always go from your root. From your root, 2 down for dominant, 2 up for 9th. And you got 9th chord. See the difference? All right. So if I'm let's do a few more of those. If you would like more lessons like that, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the bell button beside subscribe if you would like to be notified when we put up new lessons. If you are really serious about what we do, join our Play by Here website. Take a look at it by clicking the link below. All right, we'll see you online.